I've been using Ruggable rugs in my own home and in my vacation rental. I've had them for a few years now, so I've had lots of washes out of them. I've used them, hundreds of guests have used them too, so I've had a lot of experience with these rugs. I really like them. I've shared a video about my review on Ruggables, how I wash them. I will leave that in the description box below if you want to check that out. However, let's be honest, they are not cheap. I usually buy them on sale, and I found them on sale. That's what I would recommend. But an 8x10 Ruggable rug usually costs around $750 Canadian. So that is a fair price for a rug. But this Amazon dupe I found is just $160 Canadian. That's almost 80% less than the Ruggable. So when I saw that price difference, I knew I had to give this a test in this vacation rental. So I've had it here for about 3 months. So let me share with you what made me decide to take the plunge. I was browsing Amazon for Ruggable-like washable rugs. I love them in a vacation rental because we have pets, guests, kids, and I want the option to be able to throw this in the washing machine and wash it every now and then. I looked at every single option on Amazon, and when I found this one with a rating of 4.3 stars with over 4,000 reviews, that gave me the confidence to grab it and test it out. A lot of the reviewers for this rug mentioned that they didn't have any problems washing this. Some did mention that it had some creases, so I wanted to check that out for myself and see if I could get rid of them. Delivery was pretty quick. It arrived in a small box, and then inside that was this really compact plastic package. It is a very small package compared to the 8x10 rug that it becomes when you unfold it. When it arrived, I immediately saw that the pattern was gorgeous, that vintage look that I wanted. I love the colorways. I wanted some more blues and taupe and tan tones for our little lake house here. I'm trying to kind of get away from the yellows and more into those natural taupes. And the material of this one feels very similar to the classic Ruggable rug. So it's a very thin weave, sort of a velour texture. It's very smooth and washable, and it's not going to absorb spills like the high pile traditional rugs do. So now, full transparency, when I first laid this out, there were some pretty major creases, so I was really concerned. I kind of tried to pull at it, tug it, smooth it out with my arms to get rid of the creases, but they were pretty prominent. So for me, it took about 5 days for the rug to relax a little bit. It was a little bit bumpy and I could still kind of see the creases, but they were definitely less noticeable than when I first laid the rug down. And now with Ruggable, I've never had that problem. It comes rolled up when you get it, so you're not gonna have any of that creasing. Now, after having it in the cabin for a few days, I just thought it was very thin. And we have luxury vinyl plank in here, so the floors are hard. I do want some comfort. So I did end up buying a 150 Canadian dollar rug pad to put underneath that. So keep that in mind when we're comparing costs here as well. It's a 1/4 inch thick, nice and thick. It has some grip on the back. And I felt like that really made this feel a lot more comfortable in this living room. So if you two are putting this rug in a high traffic area, I would highly recommend getting a rug pad underneath. It keeps it in place and it's gonna make it feel a lot more comfortable too. So together with the rug and the rug pad, we're looking at a $310 investment, which is still less than half of the $750 Ruggable investment. Okay, now for the moment of truth. About a month later, I was ready to wash this and I wanted to see if I could fit this in my standard washing machine. My LG washer here in the rental is pretty spacious and we do wash a lot of things with it successfully, but this is huge. This is 8x10 feet into this washing machine. That's 80 square feet of fabric. For detergent, I used a mild fragrance-free option. We just used this Tide fragrance-free. We use it for all our guests and it was perfect for this rug. And I chose the cold setting on my washer, which is what the rug recommends. I also chose the slow spin, and all of these things are how I would wash my Ruggable rugs as well. The cycle took about 45 minutes and I checked about halfway to make sure everything was working. The washer was spinning and everything seemed to be going okay. So getting this out of the washing machine was actually a lot harder than getting it in because it's heavy when it's wet, like really heavy, even after lightly spinning it. So I had to muscle this out of my washing machine and then I hung it to dry like the instructions suggested. I decided to hang it over the fence here and let it dry outside on a sunny day. And I checked it every now and then, but it took only about 4 hours to completely dry, which I thought was really good. And here's what I was not expecting. After washing and drying this Amazon washable rug, it was much flatter. So those original creases were pretty much almost gone. You can kind of see them a little bit, but I love the look of this rug after washing so much more than after I got it. I was also concerned about color fading or distortion after washing, but as you can see, it looks perfect after washing it in cold water and hanging it to dry. So overall, I really do love how this rug looks in my space. I'm really happy with my purchase. But there are a few things to keep in mind. Number one, it is very flat. It has that flat weave surface, so it's thin, but that makes it nice and easy to wash. It's very similar to the classic Ruggables in this way, so if you're looking for a really cushy, high pile rug, this is not the type of rug for you. However, this flat weave and this washability makes it perfect for high traffic areas. If you have a rental property, if you have a dining room, I love Ruggables. And I'm sure I would love this Amazon dupe as runners in the kitchen or the entry, any areas that get a lot of traffic and a lot of dirt. So for my vacation rental here, this was exactly what I needed. And speaking of area rugs, I found this absolutely stunning washable rug also from Amazon, and I put it in the bedroom here at our rental. I really wanted to refresh the space in here after 4 years of guests. This pattern is stunning, and it's literally the softest area rug I have ever felt. I wish you could feel this one through the screen. This one has more pile than the flat one. It feels like this beautiful microfiber or velvet texture. My guests are gonna love this. And this one is a 9x12. It's honestly a lot thicker, but because it's so huge and it feels more heavy than the one here in the living room, I would not recommend washing this in the washing machine. Maybe you could take it to a laundromat, but definitely spot clean it, just because I don't think it would actually even fit in my machine. So now that I've owned Ruggables for a few years and this Amazon dupe for a few months, here is my comparison with the two rugs. First appearance and setup, they both look really beautiful right out of the box. However, the Ruggable looks better when you roll it out because it doesn't have any creases. The Amazon dupe has those creases that you have to wash to get rid of, basically. Ruggable, you can buy the underpad with it, and it's sort of like a Velcro or hook and loop texture where the topper really Velcros right down to that base and stays in place. With the Amazon dupe, you have to buy a rug pad separately, and they don't fit together the same. For texture and feel, they both feel very similar to me. They have this thick chenille-like fabric feel. I'm talking about the classic Ruggable texture and this Amazon dupe. They're both very flat weave. They're nice and soft, but they're both quite thin without an underlay. For washing, both of them clean up really well in a washing machine. I'm able to fit both in my washing machine up to an 8x10, but an 8x10 for both, it's kind of tricky. If you have a smaller machine, I wouldn't recommend buying anything larger than a 5x7. I find runners for washable rugs are the perfect application. For pattern and color options, Ruggable offers far more patterns and colors than this brand on Amazon. However, this one offers quite a few color variations, and they might continue to catch up as they sell more of these. On the durability category, it's a little bit too early for me to give the verdict of the durability of this rug because I've only had it for a few months. However, I know the Ruggables have lasted me for a few years after many washes. This one looks great after one wash, so I'll definitely check in the comments on this video after about a year or so, and I'll keep you posted. And finally, value. This is where the Amazon rug is the clear winner. It is so much cheaper than the Ruggable. It has a lot of similarities. Even with adding that separate rug pad, I'm still saving over 50% when I buy this dupe. So is the Amazon dupe worth it? I would say absolutely yes, especially if you love looking for budget-friendly designer dupes like I do. I will link this one down in the description box below, as well as my favorite Ruggable, so depending on the budget that you have, you can have a look and decide which one would work best for your space. If you like this video, have a look at this video right here where I share more of my favorite designer-worthy Amazon finds that are nice and budget-friendly and will make your home feel so cozy and beautiful.